शाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुसे नमः। ये कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very, very glad to be with all of you once again for today's Bhakti Vaibhava class. Can we have a quick recap of what exactly we did yesterday? Any point that strikes, any point that you liked, anything that you want to share? Anyone? Please.
Like in this material world, the principle of bhai is always there. Like we have this varga for that parishram, fena, bandha, bhaya and
Bhaya
mrityu.
and finally mrityu. Okay, so this principle of fear drives the things in this material world. Very true. Very true. Prabhupada
And that
mentioned
apanna
that.
samskriti ghora. That's
On the other hand, just by taking the name of Krishna, apanna samskriti ghora yannama vivishogranam tatas sadhyo mucchete yad vibeti bhayam swayam. Just by taking shelter of the name of Krishna, the bhai can be gone. So as soon as Krishna came and blew the conch shell, what happened? The entire Dwarka Vasis, of course, they were already fearless. They were shokamoha bhayapaha. They did not have any kind of lamentation or fear. That was not there. But even if there is some tinge of it, that also went away. The because of the presence of material ambience. We discussed about Prahlad Maharaj becoming purified. Yeah, very nice. Anyone else? Somebody want to share something from yesterday? Two more devotees can share, then we'll proceed ahead.
We cannot impress Krishna. So even the Dwarka Vasis were offering so many things. Krishna is Atmaram, and like we cannot.
Atmaram is Purvakam and is Yo Vidadanti Kaman. Three things were mentioned. Very true.
He's a supplier.
So impressing Krishna is not possible. We can't impress Krishna. Very nice. So you can only try to please him. You cannot give him something which is, something, Krishna, I'll give you something very special. Krishna will say, oh, come on. From where are you going to take those things? I'm only ultimately going to provide you. I'm the provider. Okay. So with whatever intelligence we manipulate and create something, Krishna always has intelligence more than that. He's buddhir buddhimata samasmi. Even to make something special, that buddhi is going to be given by Krishna only. So you cannot impress Krishna. That's not possible. Okay. Anyone else? Last point. Somebody? Yes, very good. Shubha Lakshmi Mataji.
Krishna is
Something with your sound. Okay. You can have her Shiromani Radhika Mataji.
Okay. In 11.7 shloka, it is given Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan. Three things are given there.
Correct. In one shloka, Dwarkavasis are describing the Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan. Bhavayanastam, Bhava Vishwa Bhavana, Tvameva Mata, Tasukrit Pati Pita, Tam Sadgururna Paramam Cha Devatam, Yasyanu Vritya Kritino Bhavu Vima. So very nicely, these Dwarkavasis, they are very philosophical. They are very trained in philosophy and they have attended all Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhaktivedanta. They know all philosophy. So they are praying, and in one prayer they gave Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojan. Very nice. Very good. So now we'll proceed ahead with our discussion. So just wanting to show you what will be the content of our discussion today. Yesterday we spoke about Lord's arrival and welcome, how all the devotees of Dwarka beautifully welcomed Krishna. That was first part. And second part, we saw that how the denizens of Dwarka, they beautifully decorated the city of Dwarka naturally for pleasing Krishna. That's how they decorated. The decorations we saw. Today we are going to be discussing about 12 verses. And in these 12 slokas, we are going to discuss again two themes. The first theme is Krishna's reciprocation with other devotees. So now the devotees are offered so many things to Krishna. Now Krishna is going to reciprocate. So that reciprocation we'll see from shloka number 16 to 22. And from 23 to 27, we will see that Krishna starts walking. It's a great procession. It's a great festival. Correct? And even if you read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that when Lord comes, the deity or in palanquin, whenever festival is there, there's always a palki, palanquin or ratha. These two things always accomplish. And when the Lord arrives, everyone should uttana, everyone should stand up. And when Lord goes, anuvritya, everybody should follow the Lord. And anybody who just simply follows the procession of Lord, there's a shloka that is given from, I think, it is one of the Puranas. Which Purana, I'm not quite sure, Skanda Purana or Nasim Purana. So even if a Chandala simply takes part in the Rath Yatra and follows the Lord's Rath Yatra, just by that, he becomes qualified to become a Vaikuntha-vasi. That is the proof given. So just following the Lord's procession, that is also one of the 64 limbs of Bhakti given by Sri Rupa Goswami. So they are actually going to, now we have Archa Vigraha, we follow, but here we are finding that it is the devotees have Sakshat Krishna with them and they're going to follow him, and it's going to be a great festival. So this festival we are all going to celebrate together in the form of Vani by Shravana. Okay, so 16th and 17th slokas are together. We will start reciting. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Shloka number 16 and 17. Nishamya preshtam mayantam vasudeva mahamanaha akruraschograsenascha ramaschadbuddha vikramaha pradyumnascharudenascha sambo jambavati sutah praharshe vegochishta sayanasana bhojana.
On hearing that the most dear Krishna was approaching Dwarka Dham, magnanimous Vasudev, Akrura, Ugrasen, Balaram, the superhumanly powerful Pradyumna, Charudeshna, and Samba, the son of Jambavati, all extremely happy, abandoned resting, sitting, and dining.
Oh, so they were all engaged in different acts. Shayana, some of them were taking rest. Asana, some of them were sitting peacefully. Bhojana, somebody was eating. So despite they sitting and doing these activities, as soon as the Lord has come, they threw away all these activities. Huh? Of course, they say if somebody is taking prasadam, we should not get up from prasadam. But when Lord comes, all rules are supposed to be forsaken. So what is this showing? This is showing Bhritya Darshana Lalasa. The same theme. All the Dwarkavasis, they all have this Bhritya Darshana Lalasa. Later on, we are going to see that despite they are seeing Krishna every day, they are not taking Krishna cheaply. अरे कृष्ण, अरे कौन है? कृष्णा है. अरे वो तो कितनी बार देख लिया हमने, बार बार देखते हैं, अरे साथ में ही रहते हैं. No, they don't never take the darshan of Lord cheaply. That lalasa never reduces, it only increases. So that about that also that theme will also come. So mainly Prabhupada in this particular shloka, what he has done is he has given introduction of all the characters. There are different names mentioned here, right? So he has just introduced them nicely. And because Prabhupada spent time to elaborately introduce, we will also be spending time to discuss. But I'll be asking all of you, without seeing purport, this is my request, a small activity. It will be a little bit, some kind of pressure for your intelligence. What all points you know about these personalities, you can all share. Okay, randomly, there's no problem. You can lift your hand and you can share. There is no problem. So first personality is Vasudeva. Vasudeva is called Mahamana here. And if you see the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, even Nand Maharaj is called Mahamana. He is also called as Mahamana. So why this Mahamana is used? The Mahamana is used because this personality has the capacity to foster Krishna as a father. Yes. And literally the meaning of the word Vasudeva itself means a personality who's capable of begetting Vasudeva. Yes, he's able to foster Krishna. And only a mind which is great, pure, grave, manaprasada saumyatvam, maunam atma vinigraha, bhava samshuddhityetas, martan manasa tapa uchyate. So one has done these austerities of the mind and kept the mind completely pure and completely Krishna conscious. Only such a mind can actually produce Krishna. And that's how Krishna was produced, right? Krishna was not born of the ordinary sexual activity that we find in this material world. Krishna first appeared in the mind of Vasudeva, and later on he was transferred in the womb of Devaki. So that is why the Vasudeva's man is called as Mahamana by Acharyas. It's not in this purport, it's somewhere else I've read. Okay. So anything you want to tell about Vasudeva? What all you know? Please go on. Anything that you know, of course, please don't see the purport. If you see the purport, there is no maja. Whatever you know, from memory you can tell.
He is the son of Surasena and husband of Devaki.
Okay, his wife is Devaki and he is the son of Shurasena. So Shurasena's son. Very good. And anyone else?
He is known for his truthfulness and very good knowledge of everything, character.
Yes, very good. Amazing. He's known for a personality of spotless character, so much so that even a demon like Kamsa trusted him. Very good. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Anushka.
He was quite intelligent. Like when the Kansa was trying to kill Devaki, he protected by giving arguments which even demon could believe.
Yes. Hey Krishna bade sahi bada chatur. You just worship Krishna, be a devotee of Krishna. Krishna will bless you with all good intelligence. And it is said that Vasudeva knew very well that this Kamsa is a demoniac person. So he applied Shukraniti. What is Shukraniti? Sam, Dam, Ved, Danda. And he included one more. Shama. Shama is actually to criticize the other fellow also. So use Shama also. One more extra element. So Shukraniti. So all these elements of Shukraniti very naturally came for Vasudeva only because he is devotee of Krishna. He knew, he had presence of mind. He knew how to act in that circumstances. Very good. Sachi Sundari Mataji had her hand up. Yes.
Prabhuji, I was about to say the same thing. How he convinced Kamsa when he was about to kill Devaki.
So that presence of mind is very much appreciated. In fact, Vasudevi worship him for that. That how a devotee should exhibit ideal behavior in crisis. When a crisis strikes, how exactly a devotee behaves. It's how he very tactfully handles the situation. Correct. Very good. So we give example of Vasudeva. Some more information that we want to give. Now I'll add. So Vasudeva was actually the minister of Dwarka. The king of Dwarka was never Krishna. Krishna is also, although he's called Dwarkadish because he controlled Dwarka, Govinda Bhujagupta Ayam. Elsewhere it is said in Bhagavatam that he protected Dwarka with his hand. Even yesterday also, just like Nagas protect the Nagalok, like that Krishna protected Dwarka. So that was there. But one thing that we need to understand here very clearly is that Vasudeva was the minister of Ugrasen. Ugrasen was the Raja. Krishna, he conquered. See, this is the nature of Krishna. Krishna never wants to be leader. He doesn't want to be the person in power. So he conquered, he killed Kamsa and he empowered Ugrasen as the leader. And Vasudeva was the minister of Ugrasen. That was there. And he had great contribution in the life of Pandavas because Pandavas did not have father. Many rites and rituals which a father is supposed to do, purificatory process, the samskaras, all these things he has done for Pandavas. Correct? As a father, he did. He was Mama, maternal uncle, so he did that. In fact, he only did the sacrifice. The purificatory process was all done by Kashyap, Shatasringa Parvat. There he went and he did it. And we all know how he another very, very amazing thing that Vasudev does is the real Mission Impossible. Many people watch Hollywood movies, Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise starring. They all watch, but the real Mission Impossible was to take Krishna from Mathura to go to Vrindavan, Gokul Mahavan. So that was the real Mission Impossible. If you hear the cases, we will be stunned. See, Vasudeva was tied in the neck, he was tied in the hand, he was tied in the legs. And Krishna just gave him instruction, come on, take me. He could have told, hey, Krishna, dekhna bhai, I'm tied in 3 places. And you're telling me take? Kaisa Bhagwan hai bhai? Pehle mere ko, mera ye to nikalo. He never said that. He simply started moving. As soon as he moved, his neck was loosened. That lock broke. He took his first step, the legs was loosened. He went to pick up Krishna, his hand, that the cuff which was handcuffed, that also broke. So we learn a great lesson from Vasudev that you simply take your step towards Krishna. Don't complain or give excuse. When we normally get some seva, we try to give excuse how we are incapacitated. We don't have the capacity to do. But absolutely not. Vasudev, one by one, everything broke. And he never even complained. Arey, bahar ka darwaza lock hai, bhai, main bahar kaise jaunga? He just walked towards the door opened. Khul gaya. And he didn't say, अरे भाई मेरे को फाइटिंग करने के लिए कुछ वेपन चाहिए. कृष्ण ने उस गार्ड को भी सुला दिया. The material nature made everybody put to sleep. सब लोग एकदम, including every single tree and plant was also sleeping. Nobody witnessed this event. So because Vasudev was on a mission to follow Krishna's instruction to take him from Mathura to Gokul Mahavan, there was absolutely no problem on his way. Nothing. He just kept moving. Even when the Yamuna rose up, the water levels of Yamuna rose up, Vasudev did not give up. He continuously kept walking. He did not bother. No, Anant Shesh came and protected. No problem. On that day, it is said that only 2 people were awake. Of course, and 3 people, 4 people we can say. 4 people were awake. Others all slept. The first person is Moon. He was awake. Why? Because he was celebrating ecstasy. Hey, now Krishna has appeared in my dynasty. Chandravamsh. Yes. He was smiling. Full moon. It was Ashtami, but he was in full ecstasy. Number 1. The second person who was awake was Indra, because he had seva to reign. Because suppose somebody is sleeping, even if somebody wakes up, they should not even hear the footsteps of Vasudeva going. So there should be immense background noise. So that background noise was created by Indra. Then Yamuna Devi was awake. Oh, my husband is coming. I want to touch his lotus feet. So she was awake. And the 4th person who was always on duty is Anant Shesh. He was also awake. The rest, everybody else was sleeping. On the other hand, Krishna Janmashtami, exact opposite happens. On Krishna Janmashtami, the day of Krishna's appearance, everybody was sleeping except these 4 people. But on the day of Janmashtami, everybody is awake. There is nobody, not even a single person sleeping. Exact opposite things happening. Abu koi sota nahi hai, sab jage hue hain. Yes, that's the beauty of Krishna Janmashtami. The birth of Krishna, everyone slept. But after that, the rest of all Janmashtamis, nobody sleeps. Everybody is awake. Correct? Even devotees, Hare Krishna devotees are awake. Correct? Even the brahmacharis who are attached to sleeping at 9 p.m. रात को 9 बजे सो जाएंगे हम लोग. They are also awake. All the sincere fellows, they are also awake. And next day they don't come for morning program. Nice. This mission was very amazing. Mission Impossible. This is a real Mission Impossible. What those fellows all show in the movies, all fake. This is a real Mission Impossible. To take Krishna, it was impossible, but he did it. Okay. Now somebody, can you please speak about Akrura? Meanwhile you speak, I'm just going to change my place because I'm not able to see properly. Yeah, you go, carry on, please. Share something about Akrura. I'll be hearing you, but I'll be moving.
Akrura to become Gulumalata.
You're talking about Uddhav or Akrura?
Sorry.
Akrura didn't want to be Gulmalata. Gulmalata was Uddhav.
Akrura
Like,
was the person who took Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura. He is the commander-in-chief.
Okay, so taking Krishna away outside Vrindavan was something which was done by Akrura. Okay.
He is like while he was coming, he is considered Acharya. He offered prayers and he is considered Acharya for Vandanam, I think.
Yes, correct. He's the embodiment for the one of 9 limbs of Bhakti, Vandanam, offering prayers. Yes. And in fact, whenever we go to Vrindavan also, we meditate on the 10th canto, 38th chapter. So Akrura teaches us how to approach Vrindavan and how to, in what mode should we enter the Vrindavan Dham. Very good. Vandanam. Anyone else?
When we took away Krishna and Balaram to Dwarka, the gopis were, they were saying that your name is Akrur, but actually you are Krur. And then it is said that because of their curses in the Samantaka jewel pastime.
That is why, because of their curse, in Shamantaka jewel pastime, Akrura becomes villain. But Akrura should be appreciated. Akrura should be appreciated because he was, now there are 2 identities. He was, now when some corporates, they go for job. Yes, so they wear I-card outside. They don't, without I-card, they will not allow in company. So they always have to carry the identity card. And where they keep the I-card? In the pocket, here. But behind the I-card is the real identity card that we carry. So what is the real identity card which we should always have? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. That I'm actually a kinkara of Nanda Tanuja, of Krishna. Jivere Swarupa Hoy Krishner Nityadas. This is a real ID card which we always carry with us as Vaishnavas. So Akrura was the embodiment of that. So externally, everybody thought that Akrura is Kamsadas. But in his heart of heart, he knew that I am actually Krishnadas. Externally, my ID card is Kamsakadas. I'm working in Kamsa's company. Right? But actually, in his heart of hearts, he is always the servant of Krishna. So he was never Kamsadas. He was always Krishnadas.
He did the task of taking them away.
Yeah. So Akrura, few more things wanted to mention, that Akrura was the person who assisted Arjuna in eloping with Subhadra, because that was the will of Lord. He didn't want Subhadra to get married to Duryodhana. He wanted Subhadra to get married to the man she loves, Arjuna. So he helped. And even when Abhimanyu and Subhadra, the daughter of Subhadra's son Abhimanyu and Uttara, they got married, he was there. Correct? Now, one point is mentioned here. Akrura's father-in-law's name is Ahuka, and his wife's name was Sutani. So Ahuka and Akrura were not in good terms with each other, but they both were Vaishnavas. So this can happen. So the point we want to tell is there can be difference between 2 people, and yet they can be pure devotees of the Lord. It is possible. Yes, it is very much possible. So we should not get bewildered when we see such cases. Oh, ye bhi Vaishnav, wo bhi Vaishnav. और इन दोनों के बीच में कैसे मतभेद हो सकता है? It can happen. Yes, it's completely accepted because everybody ultimately wants to serve the Lord, and there can be differences. If you see, the 100 Kauravas never fought with each other, not even once in their life. Why? Because their goal was sense gratification, something very low. On the other hand, Pandavas, at every single walk of life, they're fighting with each other. They have difference of opinion. Nahi main chala jaunga. But that is all arising because they want to offer the best service to Krishna. And thus each and everybody is watching their opinion. And what is true love? True love means there is every possibility of the relationship to break, but yet the relationship doesn't break. So that is something we observe in the Pandavas. So there can be difference. Okay, next. Coming to the next personality, Ugrasen. Who is Ugrasena?
Kamsa's father.
Yes,
And,
the father. Okay, that is his introduction.
I mean, he is a devotee.
Yes, he is a great devotee of Lord. Correct? But he is Kamsa's father. As such, he is not the father of Kamsa. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He is
there is
not
pastime,
Kamsa's
yeah.
father. There is a pastime there. We'll tell you. We'll share some of the time. Anyone else? Anything else about Ugrasen? That's it. Kamsa's father.
He was imprisoned by Kamsa. I mean, he had to be.
Yes, he was imprisoned by Kamsa. Later on, he became the king of Dwarka. He is actually the king of Dwarka, correct? And he got reinstated. And Ugrasen was a great devotee, a very great devotee of Krishna. And in fact, he had made Narad Muni his guru. Even Vasudeva had made Narad Muni his guru. So although they were all relatives of Krishna, but they made Narada as guru and they used to inquire about Krishna from Narada. So this is the ideal Grihastha Dharma, to inquire from a sadhu. Although they were so exalted, but still. Okay. And even when this Moshal Leela happened, Moshal Leela is when the Yadu Kumaras, they went and joked with all the sages. They made Sambal look like a girl, put a pillow in his belly and told, "Oh, great sages, you all know the future very well. If it all know the future, please tell if this girl is going to get a boy or a girl." They looked at him and they said, "There will be an iron club which will come out. And this iron club will be we're responsible for the death of your entire family." So they cursed like that. And then they go and take the iron club. They have no guts to face Krishna. Papa maar denge humko. Papa daatenge. So they went to whom? They all go to Ugrasen. Ugrasen says, "My dear boys, don't worry, we'll do something." And he orders to that iron club to be powdered into pieces and thrown into the sea. Okay. All right. And he goes to back to Godhead without a doubt at the end of his life. Next, Baladev. Now here we have so much to say. Anything about Baladev? Devotees, come on, take part, take part.
Elder brother of Krishna and Guru.
Yes. Guru Tattva, the elder brother of Krishna. Very true. Anybody else? Because Lakshmana had had enough. He said, by being younger brother, this, my bade bhai, Ramchandra, what all he made me do. Yes, मैं पिस गया. दोनों पति पत्नी के बीच में पिस गया. Sita is saying something, Ram is saying something else, and I was like completely, I became chutney. Yes, and whatever difficult tasks he is asking me to do. Lit up the fire for Sita's Agni Pariksha. अरे मैं ही मिला. हाँ, तुम ही करना है. And then later on, leaving Sita in Valmiki ashram. मुझे, yeah, you only have to do. Then he takes a vow. Next time, elder brother. अगली बार बड़ा भाई. Yes, Yashika Mati.
Balramji serves Krishna in all 5 rasas.
Yes, correct.
और mainly जो आध्यात्मिक बल है वो उन्हीं से ही आता है.
Exactly. So Krishna gives the sword of knowledge. Balram gives the strength to lift that sword of knowledge. Even तलवार है मेरे पास, लेकिन हथियार है. मेरे पास बंदूक है, तलवार है. You may have different हथियार, but you don't have the training how to operate that instrument or operate that weapon. What is the use? So Balramji is Guru who trains the disciple in how to lift that sword of knowledge, pick up that sword of knowledge and use it. Very nice. Thank you. Adhyatmik Bala. He is called as Bala, he is called as Rama, he is called as Sankarshana, yes, he is called as Rohini Nandana. Different names.
He
Are
was
there? Yeah.
transferred from the womb of Devaki to Rohini. That's why it's called Sankarsana.
Yes, that's why he's called Sankarshana. He gives pleasure to all his devotees. He is called Rama. Very good. Okay. Sri Baldev also studied with Krishna as a classmate in ashram of Sandipani Muni. And if you see, there are many demons in Vrindavan. So totally, Bhaktivedanta Thakur mentions 21 demons who come to Vrindavan, all different. They are the different obstacles on the path of a sadhaka. Because I will not discuss all of it. But Balram specifically kills 2 demons. You know what are they?
Pralambasur.
He kills Pralambasur, number 1, very good. And second?
Dhenukasur.
Correct. Dhenukasur, Pralambasur. These are the 2 demons he kills. Why Krishna doesn't kill these demons? Because these are the 2 anarthas which Guru kills. It's not Krishna. It is Guru who kills these 2 anarthas, and all other anarthas are killed by Krishna. So that is why specifically he kills Dhenukasur. So Dhenukasur is ignorance. So ignorance or avidya is something that is killed by Guru. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuhurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. He kills Derukasur. And the second anartha is Pralambasur. Pralambasur signifies subtle lust. Pratishtha. Puja Labha Pratishtha.
False ego.
Yes. Puja Labha Pratishtha. Subtle lust. So subtle lust is something that is destroyed by the spiritual master through chastisement. So how did exactly he kill Pralambasur? He saw Pralambasur is taking him away to some other place. Arey, ye to route. He's not going as per Google map. He changed the route. Kahin aur leke ja raha hai. So what did he do? One mushti prahar. Oh, he just hit the head of Pralambasur and Pralambasur collapsed. So similarly, when the Guru sees the disciple is inflicted with this subtle lust, Puja La Pratishtha is coming to my disciple, then he will give solid chastisement. Guru means one who is heavy. So he, through heavy instructions, he will give chastisement and reform. Very good. Pradyumna. Anything anybody knows about Pradyumna?
He is
I know lip reading, but not so much. I think much. Now your sound is coming.
He is after Kamsa was not Kamsa. Kamadeva was
Exactly. Burnt by Shiva.
burnt by Shiva.
Yeah. He was in gestation period. He was waiting. And then later on, it was told that he will come as a son of Rukmini and Krishna. He took birth there. So Kamadeva got an opportunity to become a son of Krishna. Of course, Pradyumna is an eternally the son of Krishna. Kamadev gets to be an Amsha. It's something like dual sin. Yes, he gets an opportunity to be an Amsha and participate in Krishna Leela. So that is true. Correct?
Why
And yes. Anybody else? Yeah, go on.
he was found in the stomach of a fish. His wife is Rati.
Rati, correct. Kama and Rati. Very true. So originally Pradyumna is one of the quadruples. There is Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. So Kamdev just gets a chance to be with Pradyumna. Yes. And in the fratricidal war, he is killed by Bhoja, one other king. There's one more king, Bhojaraj. He kills him. And that's how he. Now the purpose that killing was required because nobody else can kill Yadus. They are very powerful. So there is another reason. The 11th canto we discussed that. We'll not discuss now. Okay. So in fact, he was the one who one more personality who supported Arjuna marrying Subhadra. So Pradyumna was that person. One of the eldest sons of Krishna is Pradyumna. Okay. Charudeshna is another son of Krishna and Rukmini. And he was such a, जैसे Krishna ने बहुत कुछ चीजें fast कर दिया. He very quickly married. Pandavas and all married very late. Even Subhadra married very late. Krishna very quickly married and got settled down. In fact, Charud Sen was the younger brother of Pradyumna. He was present in Draupadi Swayamvar. So Krishna's things became fast. By the time Abhimanyu was born, Krishna already had grandchildren. Anirudh and all. So Bhagwan ka sab kuch fast ho gaya. Krishna did everything fast. Right, okay. One more, Samba. Samba is that boy of Krishna who acts like the pregnant girl. He's Samba. So Samba is the son of Krishna and Jambavati. Krishna and Jambavati's son is Samba. Okay. Any other thing you know about Samba? Yes, he was present. Many of the events of Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ratsu Yajna, Ashwamedh Yajna, Samba was present over there.
I think he married Duryodhana's daughter.
Correct. He married Duryodhana's daughter. So that is where Balramji has to go. Balramji comes to rescue. So Samba ko chhod do. And then the Hastinapur Vasis, they say, you are all like subordinates. We are first they worship Balram nicely. They welcome him, they worship him, they call him Supreme Lord and all that. And then they criticize Yadus. And Balramji takes the whole Hastinapur and said, I will drown you fellows into the Ganges. and he's pulling them with the hull. Then all of them surrender and they say, okay, we accept the marriage of Samba and the daughter of Duryodhana. Okay, very nice, good. So these are all great personalities who got to know that Krishna has come, and they gave up their happiness, they gave up their resting, sitting, dining, and wherever they were, they rushed and approached Krishna to welcome him. Bhartya Darshan Lalasa. Some of them are Krishna's subordinates, some of them are Krishna's superiors, but everybody equally showed that eagerness. Okay, we'll proceed ahead. Next. Varanendram Puraskritya Brahmane Susumangale Shankaturya Ninadena Brahma Ghoshena Chadritaha Tatujjagmuarathe Hrishta Pranaya Gata Sadvasaha.
Yeah, they hastened towards the Lord on chariots with brahmanas bearing flowers. Before them were elephants, emblems of good fortune. Conch shells and bugles were sounded, and Vedic hymns were chanted. Thus they offered their respects, which were saturated with affection.
Yes, one thing that we observe in Dwarkavasis, although they are in great ecstasy, in great bhava, they never ever transgress any Vedic codes and conducts. That means they are following rules and regulations also properly. So they are having the bhava and also following the rules and regulations properly of worshipping, how exactly to worship and welcome a great personality. So they follow everything very nicely. But there's nothing much to discuss in this verse. We'll go to the 19th shloka. Varamukyascha shatasho yanaistadarshanotsukah lasat kundala nirbhata kapola vadana shriyah.
At the same time, many hundreds of well-known prostitutes began to proceed on various vehicles. They were all very eager to meet the Lord, and their beautiful faces were decorated with dazzling earrings, which enhanced the beauty of their foreheads.
Our Prabhu is there. Yesterday he was asking about prostitutes. Is he here? Yes. Oh, he's not there. Okay, the session is being recorded now. Please give. One question. Why don't we hear about the sons of Krishna participating in the Mahabharata? Now, I've heard several reasons for this. See, one thing that we hear is that Krishna and his Narayani Sena, 1 crore Narayani Sena that he had. So they all take part in the battle and they will be siding by Duryodhana. They will not be coming here. We hear of that. But later on, we never see Narayani Sena actually taking part with Duryodhana. Duryodhana doesn't get that. So technically, the whole Narayani Sena, Dwarka is supposed, Dwarka Sena, that means all Krishna's children, etc. And he had to choose between Krishna, who will not do anything. So what I've heard is this, the Dwarka Sena, then they hear that Krishna is on the side of Pandavas, they're supposed to fight in Kauravas, they don't take part. We don't hear them taking part in the war.
So sons
Sons
of Krishna were part of Narayani Sena as such, but they did not actually participate.
Yeah, they did not participate.
And Duryodhana did not oppose us.
Nothing. Duryodhana, what he will do? See, ultimately everyone has free will, whether they want to take part or not. So Duryodhana didn't get anything actually out of the visit. Had he, right? He didn't get anything. So the whole lesson behind that pastime is energy is always with energetic. Energy and energetic can never be separated. But one good thing happened for Duryodhana is they did not fight against him. They didn't fight for him, but they didn't fight against him also. That was one good thing. But energy can never be separated from energetic. And if you're after energy, you get nothing. It is like Mrigajala. Mrigajala is that mirage. So mirage is not water. So Duryodhana doesn't get anything. Of course, that fellow did not think much. Duryodhana mila nahi, mere ko yo nahi mila. No, there's no time for thinking. This is what I've heard. They don't go. They don't take part. Balramji directly boycotts. He says, no, both are dear to me, so I will not take part. I'll go for Tirth Yatra. Okay, so that's what happens to them. So here this section of prostitute I felt was very important because every one line is having good principles. So we'll read the purport as it is. And then we'll discuss. Para by para we'll discuss. Yeah.
We may not hate even the prostitutes if they are devotee of the Lord. Even to date, there are many prostitutes in great cities of India who are sincere devotees of the Lord. By tricks of chance, one may be obliged to adopt a profession which is not very adorable in society, but that does not hamper one in executing devotional service to the Lord.
Thank you. Little by little we'll discuss. So one thing here is not that people deliberately are taking to this profession. Yeah, it may be circumstantial. We don't know under what circumstances, the girl got into this particular profession of prostitution. It's not a noble profession. It may be out of desperation, desperate need to maintain ailing parents. Yes, desperate need to maintain some relative who is very dear to heart, and there is no other means of maintenance, subsistence. So they were forced into this profession. So that is one thing that we hear. So people are not just, coming into this out of their own free will. Yeah. So that is one thing we hear. And second thing is, but no matter what, despite the external profession, the inner consciousness is much beyond that. It's going to come ahead. So there have been prostitutes who are great devotees of the Lord. Like we hear a very famous story of a prostitute who is in front of a temple. I think someone's forgot to mute themselves. Yeah, thank you. So there is in front of Harishetra, there is one Brahmana, there is a prostitute. They live opposite to each other. And the Brahmana is always looking at the prostitute. See, here comes another customer. What a sinful lady. You are going to go to hellish planets because you are indulging in the most sinful activity. And he is always meditating on her. And this prostitute is always meditating on the Brahmana. How fortunate he is. What a great fortune he has that he's always serving the Lord. He's always worshipping the Lord. So amazing. I wish in the next birth, I get this fortune. And she's meditating on that. And then suddenly there's an earthquake that comes. There's an earthquake, Bhukampa, and everybody dies in the Kshetra. And that time the Yamdutas come. They come. And they come to this Brahmana. The Brahmana says, Galat address pe aa gaya yaar. Tumko udhar jana hai samne. That is the place you have to pick up. Your pickup point is there. They say, no, we have come to the right place. You rascal, although externally you indulge in the worship of Lord, your consciousness was always criticizing the prostitute. That aversion to the prostitute was always there in your mind. So you are always averse. You never contemplated positively at all. And because of which we are going to take you to hell. Yamaraj is told to bring you here. And they take him and go. On the other hand, because the prostitute was constantly Krishna conscious, she always appreciated the good fortune of the other person. The Vaikuntha plane lands up at her house and she is escorted to Vaikuntha. So there's a story in Shastra which gives exception. Of course, this doesn't approve that one should take part, one can do anything, all nonsense that one likes, and still one can have good consciousness and go to Vaikuntha. Such are exceptions mentioned in Shastras. But the point that I want to bring about is there can be prostitutes who are pure devotees of Lord who might be tricked into this particular situation. Yes, Mataji, you can continue reading. I'll stop you whenever I wish to.
Devotional service to the Lord is uncheckable in all circumstances. It is understood herewith that even in those days, about 5,000 years ago, there were prostitutes in a city like Dwarka, where Lord Krishna resided. This means that prostitutes are necessary citizens for the proper upkeep of society. The government opens wine shops, but this does not mean that the government encourages the drinking of wine. The idea is that there is a class of men who will drink at any cost, and it has been experienced that prohibition is in great cities encourage illicit smuggling of wine. Similarly, men who are not satisfied at home require such concessions, and if there is no prostitute, the such low men will
Concessions as
endure.
prostitution. Yeah, correct. Go ahead. And if? Go on.
Is no, then such low men will induce others into prostitution. It is better that prostitutes be available in the marketplace so that the sanctity of society can be maintained. It is better to maintain a class of prostitutes than to encourage prostitutes within society. The real reformation is to enlighten all people to become devotees of the Lord, and that will check all kinds of deteriorating factors of life.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So there are so many cleansing agents in the society which are needed. Like fishes. The fishes, they clean up the water. They stay in the water. Please mute everybody. Yeah. Thank you. So the fishes, they clean up the water. So thus they keep the water, ponds and lakes very clean. It is said 3 water bodies are pure. The first water body is that which keeps flowing. Flowing water is always pure. We can drink. Second, a pond with fishes is always pure because these fishes will eat up all the impurities and dirts and they will keep the water clean. They are the cleansing agents. And the third water body which is pure, which is that which is connected to Patala. Yes, the lower planetary systems. So the Patala takes away all the impurity and thus the water body remains pure. These are like 3 types of water bodies which one can consume. Water is fit for consumption. So they are the cleansing agents. Like again, even if you see the pigs, they eat up the stool and all the abominable substances and thus they keep the land clean. Yes, they are also cleansing agents. They keep it very clean. So prostitutes have been described here as those who check. They are keeping a check in such a way that the civilized ladies are not attacked. There are no rapes, etc. So that's an ideology presented in the Vedic Shastras. And by karma, through the process of karma, some are bound to take to that profession. Right? Even in Mahabharata, I told you previously about a person called Vyada. This Vyada was a butcher. He used to slaughter cows. But at that point of time, he was the most learned of all the Brahmana, more learned than even Brahmanas. And that's why his name became Dharma. So once what happened, there is a tapasvi. So this tapasvi is meditating. Of course, we need to understand every text in Shastra as a context. We should never ever take text out of context, otherwise it will just create bewilderment. So there's a tapasvi who was meditating and doing his sadhana. So there was one crow came and the crow started making sound and disturbing this tapasvi. This tapasvi looked at this crow and it burnt. The crow burnt away like that. So that was the power of this tapasvi. You're disturbing my sadhana, I'll burn you. He burned that crow. And then later on, he went to one house for begging alms. So when he went to beg alms, so he called Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. He was very, very angry. He was shouting, screaming. And the lady came little late. And he was, looking at her with angry eyes and he was about to burn her. And the lady comes with the, some rice. She offers it to the Brahmana, touches his feet. And she says, hey, great tapasvi, don't think you can burn me like the crow. And this fellow is shocked. Tere ko crow wala incident kaise pata laga? She said that I have got all this knowledge I have got tapobal through chastity. Because I was being very chaste and serving my husband, chastity is a great principle. Right? Because of the power of my chastity, you cannot burn me through the tapobal. You cannot. So thus, this tapasvi is bewildered. Then he accepts her mother, please, you become my guru and train me. Then I cannot be your guru. There's a butcher there. His name is Vyada. He'll be your guru. And then he goes to Vyada and he surrenders. And that time Vyada is slaughtering cows. And then he's going to speak about Dharma. So there, the Acharyas explain, and the scripture also explains that because of some past karma, sinful past karma, he had to take up such a sinful profession. But because he had also gained good consciousness and sadhana in the previous life, he had a great consciousness. Similarly, we see the example in Bhagavatam of Vritrasur. Because of the curse of Chitraketu, Mother Parvati cursing Chitraketu, because of that, he had to become a demon. But in consciousness, he was extremely pure. That is possible. It may not be generally available, but there is a possibility of such a case. So Vritrasur, what he was doing, I was just hearing His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj's lecture, Don't Become Prisoner of Success. So he gave it in Pune many years back. So there he was describing about this pastime of Vritrasur. So he was saying, what was Vritrasur? He was not wearing Kanti Mala. He was not wearing tilak. He was looking like a demon, a Rakshasha. Maharaj was telling, and he was eating all demigods. He was taking some demigod Mahaprasad Govinde and eating them, stuffing in mouth and eating. But yet, if we read the Bhagavatam, he had the great consciousness. Aham harita vapadaikamuna dasanu daso bhavitasmi bhuyah manasmaretam stupater gunamstu grinitava karma karotu kaya. So he had great, those 4 shlokas. The Chatusloki, this comes in Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto. Suppose this is 17 chapters, shloka number 24, 25, 26, 27, these 4. They are the Chatusloki shlokas of Vritrasur prayers, the last prayers that he offers. So each one prayer, they symbolize dharma. What is the real dharma? What is the real artha? What is the real kama? And what is the real moksha? So he explains the dharma, artha, kama, moksha from Pancham Purushartha point of view. Very deep prayers. 4 prayers he offers. That's it. And in those 4 prayers, Indra is flat. How can this person be a demon? And even Parikshit Maharaj is flat. This fellow cannot be a demon. Please tell. Then comes first, after Vritrasur Katha comes Chitraketu Katha. His flashback is shown in the Bhagavatam. So we understand here that despite of external situation, which is ordained by the previous karma, there are personalities having great consciousness, and these prostitutes are also in the same category, like Vritrasur or Vyada, who had very great consciousness, but because of some past karma traits, they may be indulging in some sinful life here. I hope this is clear. Here, recording of Prabhuji ko suna dena, he was asking so many times, how can there be prostitutes? Okay, he was not able to accept it. The Prabhupada is very clearly mentioned in purport. That's why I said, we'll wait. We'll let the prostitutes come tomorrow. We'll discuss about them. Next, Mataji, please continue.
Sri Bilvamangal Thakur, a great acharya of the Vishnu Swami Vaishnava sect, in his household life was overly attached to a prostitute who happened to be a devotee of the Lord. One night when the Thakura came to Chintamani's house in torrents of rain and thunder, Chintamani was astonished to see how the Thakur could come on such a dreadful night after crossing a foaming river which was full of waves. She said to Thakura Bilvamangal that his attraction for the flesh and bone of an insignificant woman like her would be properly utilized if it could be diverted to the devotional service of the Lord to achieve attraction for the transcendental beauty of the Lord. It was a momentous hour for the Thakura, and he took a turn towards spiritual realization by the words of a prostitute. Later on, the Thakura accepted the prostitute as his spiritual master, and in several places of his literary works, he has glorified the name of Chintamani, who showed him the right path. In Bhagavad Gita 9.32,
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So one day, one devotee had gone to this in West. He went to the house of one boy who was just taking up to Krishna Consciousness, Western body, both. He saw that there was one very nice altar he had kept. He had kept Radha Krishna, Gaur Nitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Panchatattva, Narsimdev, the whole Guru Parampara, the 6 Goswamis. But he observed something very strange. So we have the Guru Parampara starting from Prabhupada, then Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We have that. So before Prabhupada, he had kept one photo of one girl also. So devotee was, "Arey, ye kaun hai?" He told, "I worship her. She is my ex-girlfriend. Because of her only I came to Krishna Consciousness. She cheated me and went away. I was about to commit suicide. But I saw devotees and they preached to me, and I came to Krishna consciousness. So I put her photo also. If she was not there, I wouldn't be here. So I put her photo and I worship. So Bilva Mangal Thakur also similarly, he was attached to this Chintamani Vaishya. See, there are four kinds of people who are blind. There are four kinds of blind men, they say in the Shastra. Nacha pashyanti janmando kamando naiva pashyati. Madonmattana pashyanti nacha pashyati arte dosham na pashyati. Four kinds of people are blind. So what is the first category? First category of the person is this is nacha pashyati janmando. Fellow who is from birth blind cannot see. Example Dhritarashtra. Classic example we have in the Mahabharata. That fellow cannot see. He was blind from birth. The second example is kamando naiva pashyati. A person who is blinded by lust cannot see. And that example is of Bilva Mangal Thakur. He was actually, there was a snake in the water. There was a flood. And that flood, he wanted to a boat. So he used one body as a boat. Whose body was there? His wife's body. Who was telling him, Swami, please don't go today. Don't go. Bolke wo doob gayi. Wo doobne ke baad, he used her body as a boat to go. And there was a snake. He saw the snake to be a rope. He took that and then he put kamando naiva pashyati. He was not able to see the dead body of his wife. Neither was he able to see the snake. He was seeing it as a rope. So somebody deluded in lust cannot see. Kamando naiva pashyati. Then madonmattana pashyati. Oh, Indra, he was worshipping pomp and honor from all the denizens of heaven. Vidyadharas, Charanas, Apsaras were dancing, Kinnaras were there, and all of them were offering different prayers. Gandharvas were singing, everything for Indra. There was great pomp. Other all demigods, they were also offering arti to Indra, and Indra was sitting beside his very beautiful queen, Sachi Devi. Yes, and such pomp was going on, and Brihaspati comes there. So although such a great soul, Brihaspati happened to pass from there, but because Madonmattana Pashyati, he was absorbed in so much of pomp and so much of worship that he was doing, he did not see Brihaspati, although he was seeing him, which means he didn't see him with the eyes of respect. And finally, Arte Dosham na Pashyati. Arte Dosham na Pashyati means somebody who is wanting money at any cost. Money is honey. So such a person will never ever see fault in earning money. Example, Valmiki. So Valmiki was a highway robber. He was beating up people. He was a henchman. He was looting. Even sadhu santo ko bhi nahi chhodta tha. Unka bhi sara dakshina wo chori kar leta. He used to steal it away. He was not able to see any fault in that. The sages advised him then. Narad Muni and sages, they advised, hey, Valmiki, aisa kya kar raha hai? And then later on he got enlightenment, but he was not able to see the fault in his profession. So somebody who is earning money whose goal is to earn money only, nothing else, will not see any fault in profession and may end up spoiling one's consciousness. Okay. So here we see about this Chintamani. There's a background also. There was once a Brahmana. This Brahmana wanted to actually, he was very poor Brahmana. So he wanted to maintain his family. So what he did was he went to a Shamshana. And there was he had observed that there was a young girl who was a young girl. Usually young girls and young boys, they're not burnt. They're not cremated like that. They're just buried. That's Vedic tradition. They don't burn them. So there was a young girl who was burnt with all her jewelry, bangles and all. So he digs up the earth and takes some bangles and goes. Again, he's in need of money. He comes back and he takes some more bangles. I'm not telling you full detail. I'm just giving you a hint. And the second time he takes, there's a voice that comes. The dead girl speaks. She says, this is not appropriate. My parents have buried me with all my paraphernalia and you are not entitled to take it. This is not your property. So he begs forgiveness. Please. This is last time. I'll not come again. But then third time also he comes. Third time he comes, the dead girl curses this, that you will be a very lusty fellow in the next birth. And you'll be lusting after a prostitute. Then please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I will not do this again. Please. No. Curse cannot be taken back, but don't worry. That prostitute will be your guru who will enlighten you. And this girl only comes as the prostitute in next life. And this Brahmana comes as Bilva Mangal. So that is the background which is there. Okay. So even Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that Mami Pyartha Vyapashritya Yepisu Papa Yonah Sriyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. Anybody can attain perfection. Anybody. birth is never a consideration. So thus we need to understand that criteria for advancement is, so Prabhupada's last purport, and we're not going to read, we'll just conclude, is that Prabhupada says, don't worry so much about the external status of people. What we should push on is that everybody become a Hare Krishna devotee. Everybody becomes a devotee of Lord. So now here you see, even the prostitutes, they were wanting, their goal was to become devotee. Their goal was to go back to God. So this is what we should promote. So that promotion should be done every time. So as far as yesterday's Prabhu's question was concerned, that Parikshit Maharaj, prostitutes are necessary. So in Parikshit Maharaj times also, were there prostitutes? Yes, there has to be a section of people as prostitutes there, so that the population, the other part of civilized population, remains protected. But there is always inducement to Krishna consciousness, and gradually the lusty desires are purified in these people. Yes, there is a gradual purification also that takes place. Okay, next, 20th sloka. नटनर्तक गंधर्वा सूतमागध वंदिनः गायन्ति चोत्तम श्लोक चरितान्यद्भुतानि च.
Expert dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, and learned speakers all gave their respective contributions, being inspired by the superhuman pastimes of the Lord. Thus, they proceed on and on.
Thank you, thank you. So now here, if you see, there are two classes of people. Now, prostitutes every time may not be commercial sex workers. That means they are taking money for sex. No. Some of the singers, drama artists, dancers, those who serve in the hotels, some ladies, they serve items in hotels. They are also some category of prostitutes. They are also Vaishyas. Yeah. And they usually belong to the Shudra community. So now here, Krishna is receiving the service of the Shudra community as well as the Brahman community. So dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, they were all Shudra community. And there were three Brahman community who came in front of Krishna. And actually they come in front of the king every time. There are Sutas, Magadas, and Vandinas. Suta, Magada, Vandina. The same thing you will find in Prithu Maharaj section also. Suta, Magad, Vandina. These three people come to glorify the Prithu Maharaj. So who are Sutas? Sutas are actually historians. That means they will narrate chronologically what are all the different activities that the king has performed. The glorious deeds of our king, the glorious deeds of our king's dynasty. And authoritatively they will quote and they will speak. Even the dramatists, Prabhupada says, they perform dramas from Lord's pastimes only. They will not perform some time pass dramas, Bollywood, Hollywood style. No. Whatever dramas they perform is from the Supreme Lord's pastimes. Based on that only they perform different kinds of dramatics. And dramas are such very, very great ways of preaching. If you see His Holiness Indratumna Maharaj in Krishna's Village of Peace, Poland Woodstock Festival, there's a team of dramatic, almost 150-200 teams of drama artists. And they show different leelas. There are dances in the drama. And seeing the drama, seeing the dances, many of them take to Krishna consciousness. Many pick up a copy of Bhagavad Gita. Many of them pick up a mala. And the Poland Woodstock Festival makes thousands of devotees every year in the Baltic Sea coast, just by promotion of drama, Krishna conscious culture, etc. So this is something that everybody will accept. Now, the moment drama is there, everybody is interested. Oh, equally interested. Somebody is philosophical is also interested. Somebody not very philosophical is interested. Children are interested. Old people are interested. Like that, everybody is involved. Even farmers and peasants, they are also involved. Even the illiterate agriculturists, Prabhupada writes, are involved. The dramatists. So Sutas are those who are speaking about the history, historians. Magadas, Suta, Magada. So Magadas are the genealogists. That means they will tell you, like, how many of you know the name of your great-grandfather? Anybody? His father? Khatam. Hare Krishna, clean word. His father? Yashika Mataji, his father? Khatam. She also put her hand down. Good. I found one boy who knows his 11 ancestors, but beyond that, he also doesn't know. So there is a proper Shastra, Agastya, Nadi Jyoti Shastra, etc. There are many Shastras which tell you very clearly. Just if you give thumbprint today, they tell you you are right from your Gotra. You are right from the beginning of the Acharya, your Gotra, what has been your genealogy. Exactly they will tell you. Even today the records are there. Agastya Samhita and all contains that. So exact history they tell. So there are genealogists like that who are expert in this particular studies and they do that. Any quick comment, Rashika, Mataji?
प्रभु जी एक्चुअली वृंदावन में एक जगह है, वहां पे हमारे जो ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर्स वगैरह वगैरह उनके नाम लिखे हुए, मतलब अगर जानना चाहे तो मतलब जान सकते हैं
बहुत
वहां
जगह
से।
है ऐसे मतलब there are many places. जैसे चेन्नई, ताम्बरम, पूना में भी है, वृंदावन जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं। पूना के रविवार पेट में भी
प्रभु जी हम तो दिल्ली में रहते हैं।
अच्छा आप दिल्ली में, ठीक है। आप वृंदावन जाइए, कोई बात नहीं। आपके लिए बहुत पास में दिल्ली में भी है, लेकिन Agasti Nadi Jyotish. So the Nadi Jyotisham, they call it. So they are the Magadas and Vandina. Suta, Magada and Vandina. Who are Vandinas? Vandinas are great professional learned speakers. Yes, so these learned speakers very poetically glorify the king very nicely. Okay. So the Brahmana class, Shudra class, both the service Krishna accepted without any discrimination. So that's how Krishna reciprocated, by accepting their service. Next. Bhagavan Satra Bandhunam Pauranam Anuvartinam Yata Vidyupasangamya Sarvesham Manamadade.
Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens, and all other who came to receive and welcome him.
Yes. So as per, so we need to, this is the principle that we learn. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koroi Dase Trinapekati Hina. So there we say, Sakala Sammane Korite Shakati Dehonatha Yata Yata Tabito Gaibo Harinama Suke Aparadaha Behata. So it is very important that we give respect to everybody. Deho Natha Yata Yata. Gurudev teaches you, or Gurudev empowers you by giving you strength to give respect to all the devotees as per their levels. That's what we do, right? Even in Nectar of Instructions, if you see the 5th verse, Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyeta dikshesti chat pranadavishcha bhajantam isham Rushrochaya vajana vigyamananya manna India vishunya mridamitsita sangalabdva. So all Vaishnavas in principle have to be respected. But somebody is Harinam initiated, we respect in mind. Somebody is Brahman initiated, spiritual initiation he has received and is worshipping the deities. Oh, we offer Dandavat Pranam. And somebody who is a Paramahamsa, who is free from the propensity to criticize others, we serve them and we associate with them. Correct? So there are different ways of offering respect. So respect is general principle. So similarly, Krishna's accommodation is the general principle, but based on their intimacy, he accommodated them yatha vidhi, just as what is appropriate. Correct? He followed that norms. Okay, next. 22. This is the last verse in this section. Prahvadibadan shlesha karasparsha smite kshanaihi ashvasya chashvape apakebhyo varaischa abhimatir vibhu. So last verse spoke about how Krishna accommodated and accepted everybody and reciprocated with all. But how he reciprocated differently, so that is mentioned here.
The translation: The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances, and awarding benedictions even to the lowest in rank.
Yeah, even to the lowest rank. So Krishna did not neglect anybody, reject anybody. Everybody got it. Even yesterday we saw the photo, right? How many of you remember? Krishna was leaving Hastinapur. And what was something very special? What was striking? Who can tell me? If you remember? Yes.
He was
Yes.
looking also at the old lady who was trying to give garland.
There was an old hunchback lady who was trying to come close to Krishna, and Krishna was looking that, please come, I'll accept your garland. That's the beauty. So he does not neglect anyone. He accepts everybody's service. Right? So that is the whole principle in this particular shloka. So now Krishna is going to enter into the city gates of Dwarka. He's going to enter into Dwarka. So let us see this section 23 to 27. Krishna's entry. Swayam Chakgurubir Viprei Sadareir Stavirairapi Ashirbhir Yujyamanonyair Vandibhischa Vishatpuram.
Then the Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord.
Yes, yes, amazing. So here, are you all able to hear me? Your screen seems stuck for me. That's why I'm asking. Sunai dera?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sound, the sound. Vani is clear, no? Okay. And there may be some disturbance in video, but Vani should go on. That's clear. Okay. So now here there is a mention of some invalid brahmanas, old brahmanas, along with their wives. So brahmanas in general, they are not much bothered about money making. No. Their goal is to contribute religiously and spiritually to society. Yajana, yajana, patana, patana, dana, parigraha. The 6 ways in which these 6 duties the brahmanas perform. They perform sacrifice, they take part in sacrifice and accept the sacrificial fruits. Yajan, yajan. Patan, patan. Excuse me. They study the Shastras and they preach the Shastras. And Dana Parigraha, they accept the charity and they also give away charity. Whatever they need, they accept, and whatever is excess, they distribute to other Brahmins. Correct? In fact, Arjuna, he's called Dhananjaya because he accumulated wealth for the performance of the yajna of Yudhishthira Maharaj. But how did he do that? Yudhishthira Maharaj से पैसे ले गया. अरे कहाँ से किधर से कुछ नहीं, no strategy, no planning. Arjun went. He went towards Himalayas. And surprisingly, when he went to Himalayas, he saw a lot of golden plates and golden glasses. So much of wealth was available. Exactly that much which was needed for the yajna. And Arjun inquired, what is this? So they told, oh, our great Arjuna, great warrior, great archer, there was a grand feast here of all the great Brahmanas. And all the Brahmanas ate in golden plates and golden glasses. And after eating, they were so detached that they left the golden glass and plate. They don't need it. It's not required for them. So they left it there only and went. And Arjuna took everything and went to Yudhishthira Maharaj. That's how he became Dhananjaya. So Brahmanas are detached also. Whatever is needed, they take. They took the prasadam, but left the golden plates there only. Gold ho, mud ho, doesn't make difference. They left it there. They don't need. So these Brahmanas are never attentive to making money and banking money for future. They just take what is needed on that day. And the rest, they leave it to Krishna. They know Krishna will maintain them every day. Yes, even if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was upset with Govinda Ghosh. So one day after eating, Mahaprabhu needs some digester, spices. Soft, body shape, we say. He needed something like that. So he told Govinda Ghosh, please go and get. So he came back in something like 20 minutes. He came back and got the digester. So Mahaprabhu took. Next day again, Mahaprabhu asked for digester. He came in 2 minutes. He said, hey, कल 20 मिनट लगा तेरे को आज 2 मिनट में आ गया कैसे? He said, Mahaprabhu पहले से स्टोर करके रखा था. He said, storing thing means you are not fit for Virgan's life. Get out. जाके शादी कर ले. Out. Then he goes to Agradeep, a place called Agradeep, and there he settles down. So mendicants, sadhus, brahmanas, they should not store. They should depend on Krishna. So even to run temples, I had checked with His Grace Radhesham Prabhu that Prabhuji, can we collect a lot of donation for beginning in the temples? We build a temple and uska corpus funds, जो रहेगा बाकी उस corpus से मंदिर चला देंगे. He said, that is nonsense. If you do that, you will never depend on Krishna. If you have corpus funds, you are assured. आराम से अरे हमारा खाना पीना सब arrange हो गया, मंदिर चल जाएगा. So corpus funds, that remaining funds, जिसका interest से हम लोग मंदिर चलाएंगे, that's a very nonsensical idea because with that you cannot depend on Krishna. And that's why even Prabhupada would say that let you get money and spend it. Especially in Germany, he had told all devotees, that whenever money comes, spend it for preaching, sankirtan, distributing prasadam, printing books, spend money. Don't store money. But then these devotees did not listen to Prabhupada and they started storing money. And as a result, what happened? The government came, raided and took all the money and that went to government. Krishna's money went to government and now those fellows will do whatever they want with that. Right? So Brahmanas don't think about storing money, etc. But one of the professions that Brahmanas would also do is they would go and glorify the actions of the king. Yes, they'll go and glorify actions of king. And when the proper king, not rascal king, rascal को जाके उसको flatter कर दिया, उसको जाके मस्का मारना, that is not the job of the Brahmanas. They will not go and flatter unnecessarily. So they go and genuinely glorify the activities of a king, and the king being satisfied will maintain the Brahmanas. And these kind of Brahmanas who are following Krishna, invalid. Now they are invalid. They are not able to do any service, but they were offering blessings to Krishna. They were glorifying Krishna, and Krishna was maintaining them. Okay, next. 24. Rajamargam gate Krishne Dwarakaya Kulastriyah Harnyani Arurur Vipra Tadikshana Mahotsavaha. Oh, there's a great Mahotsav, great festival going to start. What is that festival? Let's see.
When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival.
Yeah. Very bold. So great festival. What is the festival? Darshan of Krishna. Krishna is going to walk through the Rajamarga. He's going to walk through the streets of Dwarka. He's going to come. That is itself a festival for him. So devotees in Vedic culture never get bored. I studied in NIT Trichy and just 20-25 minutes bike ride, we used to reach Srirangam temple. And in the Srirangam temple, where Lord Ranganath Swami is there with Ranganaiki Tayar, he's there. So they have 335 festivals out of 365 days. This is almost practically every day. There is some or the other beautiful festival of the Lord going on, and there is Palki, Palanquin, and goes on. There was one of my students who did Discover Yourself course under me, and he happened to be the son of one of the pujaris who does the festival. He's in charge of the festival committee of Ranganath Swami. So he knows all the festivals which are there, and beautifully they celebrate. So similarly for Dwarkavasis also, Lord walking and going. Lord either goes on palanquin, he goes on rath, he goes on foot. However the Lord goes, it's a great festival. And every festival, they want to go and take darshan of Krishna. Correct. So this should be the spiritual atmosphere of society, and especially the ladies. They have a natural faith. Yes, they have the very nice natural shraddha towards the Lord, and thus they come in great numbers. Great numbers they come. So whenever we even have classes and programs, and whichever house programs I go, society programs I go, we see that Mataji's number is always more. They have a lot of faith. They come in great. I have to beg them every time, please. My Guru Dakshina is, please get your husbands. पति देवों को लेके आइए, please. अकेले मत आना. So they gather in great amounts to they thronging take darshan of Lord. And today also, even Archa Vigraha of Lord is not different from Lord. There's no difference. The Lord coming in the 8 active elements, Ashtadhatu, earth, wood, stone, paint, water. He can appear anywhere. There is absolutely no contamination. Even such deities, we should be very eager to go and take darshan. Yes, very eager for darshan of Lord. Bhartya darshana lalasa. This is the whole sum and substance of Dwarkavasis. They never took Krishna cheaply. So Prabhupada last paragraph, he writes, it appears that the residents of Dwarka were all owners of big palaces. Yeah, big palaces. There was a lot of opulence. Wherever Krishna is there, there is great opulence. And they were all respectable ladies. They never mixed with the public in general. So that's why they are civilized ladies, respectable ladies. And such kind of free mixing should not be there also. Free mixing means animal culture, Prabhupada said. And that's why in our ISKCON temples, there's proper barricade system. There is a Mataji's side, Prabhuji's side. There are security guards who tell, Mataji, udhar jaiye, Prabhuji, idhar aiye. They separate. That separation is required. It's very much unrestricted mixing should not be there. So wherever Lord is there, opulence is. I was reading the Ramayana one day. I was reading the Ayodhya Kand. So there is a description of Ayodhya very beautifully given there. And the description of Ayodhya, it was said that every single citizen of Ayodhya, their entire bodies were bedecked with all varieties of pearls, lapis, topaz, sapphire, jasper, and all varieties of precious stones were always hanging around their necks. The bangles, the golden bangles bedecked with all of them, so much so that it is said that even the roads, on the roads, they used to throw pearls to welcome the Lord. Yeah, pearls, diamonds, rubies, ये सब पड़े रहते थे रास्ते में. My God, this was the opulence of Ayodhya. They all are, roads are all decorated with these things. Rajamarga. So they used to choose very, very soft gemstones, which will not be piercing, and they used to decorate. Even the sidewalks were decorated with different kinds of other jewels and gems and stones. So very, very opulent and prosperous. So now one may ask a question, Prabhu ji, ye sab kidhar gaya abhi, Prabhu? Welcome to Kali Yuga. That was Rama Rajya. Now we are in what Rajya? We are worse than Ravan Rajya also. The people of Kali Yuga, what to speak of Ram Rajya? We cannot even attend Ravan Rajya. Utna bhi hamare aukat nahi hai. Right? So when the Prakriti Sundari, the material nature sees that these are all not devotees of Lord. They are simply exploiters and cheaters. They want to take away the Lord's opulence and enjoy themselves. Then Prakriti will withdraw all these facilities. All these things, Navaratnas, opulence, prosperity, greenery, everything is withdrawn. These are all thieves and rogues and rascals. I don't want to serve them. So she can withdraw. That same thing happened in the time of Prithu Maharaj also. When Vena was the king, so that time the population had become disturbed. So the earth withdrew everything. And she was not giving. Then Prithu Maharaj had to, the entire pastime of how he chased the earth and all, that happened. The whole point is, prosperity is there, Rama Rajya is there, when Lord Ram is the center, or Krishna is the center. Then all prosperity will be there. Okay, next. We go to verse number 25. Now, this is a very important verse. This is the verse of this chapter, of today's discussion. Nityam nirikshamananam yaddapi dwarakam kasam navitripyanti hidrishaha shriyodhamangam achyutam. Please read the translation.
The inhabitants of Dwarka were regularly accustomed to looking upon the reservoir of all beauty, the infallible Lord, yet they were never satiated.
Yes, there is absolutely no satiation means saturation. That was never there. So this is the difference between spiritual life and material life. In material life, one becomes easily saturated but never satisfied. On the other hand, in spiritual life, one is always satisfied and never saturated. That saturation never comes. Every day, we sing same Mangalarti. And in fact, in same tune. Correct, na? We do change the tune. So आज थोड़ा tune change कर देते हैं. बिल्कुल नहीं. आज थोड़ा lyrics change कर देते हैं. और after 1 year, we go to spiritual master. गुरु महाराज थोड़ा बोर हो गया. थोड़ा अलग कुछ आरती मिलेगा क्या सुबह सुबह. सुबह सुबह वही चीज. Right? Same शिक्षा अष्टकम. Anuj Prabhu, what is your son's name? Who's asking for water?
Sorry, Raj Kishore. Sorry, I think he only unmuted.
No problem. He only unmuted, na?
Yeah.
Raj Kishore is naughty like Raj Kishore only. Very nice. He's a very naughty fellow. Nice. He unmuted. Right? So I was telling that we never get bored. Now we see sannyasi, maharajas, great masters who've been chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for last 50-55 years. Same Maha Mantra. They're not bored. They chant very ecstatically. Yes. So there is no saturation here in spiritual life. And there are devotees like His Grace Janivas Prabhu. Now we are missing His Grace Pankaj Angri Prabhu. But they've been serving the same deities of Shri Radha Madhav, Nisimdev. And especially Janivas Prabhu means Radha Madhav. Pankaj Angri Prabhu means Narsimdev. They serve the same deities for so many years, 4 decades, 5 decades. Never bored. क्या तो बोरिंग हो गया थोड़ा अभी राधा माधव को छोड़ के कहीं और चाहे क्या थोड़ा वैरायटी चाहिए. And Mayapur Seva, if you see the Seva chart, there's one Pujari, same standard person. Every day morning he has the same service. Same devotees does the same service. They are never ever saturated. In fact, they are blissful. I've seen the Panchatattva Pujari, how he worships. His mouth is open. With a mouth open, he's worshipping the beauties of Panchatattva. So that same ecstasy as every day. So there is nothing called law of satiation in spiritual life. Correct? So once I would like to give an example of my spiritual master personally because I've observed him very closely. I'm giving. So once His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was walking in the temple of Shri Radha Gopinath. He was walking and then there was one devotee who was sitting in front of Shri Radha Gopinath and chanting. So Maharaj just went up to this devotee. Maharaj also was chanting and walking. He asked, who are they? And this devotee got bewildered by the question. Kya Maharaj, aap kya pooch rahe? Who are they? And Maharaj saw that he was stuck with wonder. Maharaj left and again walked. Maharaj came back and again asked, who are they? And this devotee this time wanted to speak something, but before he could speak something, Maharaj again went back. Then Maharaj again came and asked, who are they? He said, Shri Radha Gopinath. Maharaj again went, came back. Who are they? This devotee was about to cry now there. Maharaj, nahi pata, aap hi bata, who are they? And finally, Maharaj saw that this devotee is feeling uncomfortable. He doesn't make anyone uncomfortable. He said, these are the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life. And then Maharaj went to his room. So years together, year after the year, right from the year of 1986, is being taking darshan of the same deities. And the ecstasies, the darshan, the love, that keeps increasing. That keeps growing. His Grace Gaur Gopal was telling all of us one day that he's the one who does the Dasanudas Seva whenever Maharaj dresses. And this is a service that Maharaj loves, to dress and decorate the deities so much. And each time he does it with greater and greater enthusiasm. So that is there. Even the Yatra lectures, some of us are going to go to Puri Yatra of Maharaj. So we know Govardhan Leela, whenever Govardhan Puja comes, that Leela lecture, standard lecture. Deepavali lecture, very standard. जो पिछले साल दिया था वो पिछले साल उससे पिछले साल same. There is no change, absolutely no change in the lecture. But this relish is ever increasing. So the leelas that he describes are just the same, but they appear newer and newer. So that is the beauty of what? That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So there's a very beautiful verse that I wanted to show all of you. Yeah. If I find it, I will tell you. Oh, this will come tomorrow only. Tomorrow in the sense the next class only we will read. It's from first canto 11th chapter only. So तब discuss करेंगे, जब आएगा तब discuss करेंगे. We'll discuss. So there also, I will leave this particular point for that shloka. I will not discuss it now. So the whole thing is no boring, no satiation. Law of satiation doesn't work. Every time the darshan of deities, the chanting of the holy name, the pastime of Bhagavatam, so they should appear newer, and that's what even he says. Shukadeva Goswami. First of all, Parikshit Maharaj admits in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj admits his frailties. That I am actually, I'll show you that verse. This is Vayam Dhanyatamam. Okay. Yeah. This Parikshit Maharaj, he says, Vayam Dhanyatama Loke Gunopi Shatra Bandhava Vayam Pibamo Muhustvatta Punyam Krishna Katamratam. He says, I am very, very fortunate because although I am a Shatra Bandhava, I am not a proper Kshatriya because I didn't respect the Brahmana. I offended Shamik Rishi. But Vayam Pibamo Muhustvatta, I am continuously drinking again and again the Punya Katamratam from you. So what does Shukadeva Goswami speak? he tells, Sadhu Prishtam Mahabhaga Tvaya Bhagavatottama Yannutanasi Shasya Shrinvannapi Katamuhu. He says, you have asked good question and you are actually you are fortunate, but you are not Shatra Bandhava, you are Bhagavatottama, you are the topmost Bhagavata. Why? Because you have heard Krishna Katha so many. He is from devotee family. Yes, he is Hare Krishna devotee from birth. Who? Parikshit Maharaj. But each time he is hearing Krishna Katha, he feels it is Nutanasai Shasya. Whatever pastimes you heard so many times, still you feel it is ever new and new. Navam Navam. And that is a sign of advancement. The sign of advancement is not that, oh, I already know this pastime. I already know this shloka. I already know this arti. I know this bhajan. I know this mantra. No. If that same mantra, the same pastime, the same darshan is appearing newer and newer, that means you are making spiritual advancement. That is the newness is the nature, because Krishna is Nava Yauvanam. He's always like a fresh youth. Correct? So we should see that as a symptom of advancement. Next. Shriyo nivase yasyora pana patram mukham drisham bahavo lokabalanam saranganam padambujam.
The Lord's chest is the abode of the goodness of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms are the resting place for the administrative demigods, and his lotus feet are the refuge of pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordship.
Thank you. So 4 statements are made here. Shriyo nivasa yasyuryu. That means Goddess Mother Lakshmi is there in the Uru. Uru is chest. Pana patram mukham drisha. His beautiful face is actually an object of drinking. Bahavo lokapalanam. That means the lokapalas, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all those who are universal administrator, they are his bahu, his hands, and saranganam padambujam. At the lotus feet of the Lord, there are sarangas, the pure devotees who are like the honeybees who are there. So 4 points Prabhupada is very beautifully given purport. So first he talks about Shriya. Shriyo Nivasa Yasyuri. First he talks about Mother Lakshmi who is there in the chest of the Lord. So the whole world is after Lakshmi. You go to shopkeepers, Seth, and all these people having wholesale business, etc. They have photo of Lakshmi and Lakshmi is giving so many gold coins. You have seen that? Hum Lakshmi ke bhakat hai. Hum agarbatti gubata hai. People say that, right? They're there after Lakshmi. But where is Lakshmi? Lakshmi is busy in serving the Lord. And not just one Lakshmi. There are thousands and lakhs of Lakshmi. Chintamani prakara satma shukalpa vriksha laksha vriteshu surabhira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sata sambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Lakshmi sahasra sata. So whenever in Shastras this Sahasra is 1000, Shata is 100. So technically it means 100 into 1000, 100,000. But whenever Shastra Sahasra Sata comes means countless. You cannot count it. That many number of Lakshmis are serving Krishna. Right? So हम लोग एक लक्ष्मी के पीछे हैं. She is called Chanchala. So in this world Lakshmi is called Chanchala. She moves from one pocket to another pocket. आज इसके pocket में कल किसी और के pocket. Chanchala. On the other hand, in spiritual world, Lakshmi is called as Rama. Rama is one who is relishing the service of her beloved master. Correct? Why does Lakshmi reside in chest? I was reading a very beautiful commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the 10th canto. There I got the answer to this. Lakshmi ji resides in the chest of the Lord. Actually, that Lakshmi ji is Radharani only. When it comes to Krishna, it is Radharani. So why Radharani resides in chest of Lord? Whenever she sees that Krishna right now doesn't have somebody to serve, immediately she comes in presence of Krishna to render service. So the purpose of staying in the chest is also for the purpose of service, so that if Lord is needing a servant, immediately I can come out and serve. That is the eagerness Lakshmi or Radharani is showing towards Krishna. Service. That is the reason of staying in the chest, not for some prestige or honor, not for that purpose. Second, Pana Patra Mukham Drishaha. So here, Prabhupada writes in a purport, I'm just reading as it is. Those who are artists, overtaken by the beautiful creation, should better look to the beautiful face of the Lord for complete satisfaction. The face of the Lord is the embodiment of all beauty. We know the famous pastime of Ramanujacharya, and he was having a procession of Ranganath Swami. And there was one person whose name was Dhanurdas. So this Dhanurdas was holding an umbrella and looking at Hemamba, one lady. He was looking at her. And Ramanujacharya saw that everybody is looking at the the procession, but this fellow is looking at Hemamba, this girl. Usko bula, mujhe milna. Kya kar rahe bhai? Procession of Lord is going on and you are looking at this girl. So somehow I like her eyes very much. Then Ramanujacharya develops compassion on him. If I show you some eyes which are more beautiful than those eyes, what will you do? Then I'll serve that person. He says, okay, fine. Tomorrow morning, come for Mangalarti. I'll show you the most beautiful eyes. Right? So then he calls, and then when he looks, that time Ramanujacharya intensely prays that, oh Lord, please reveal your beauty to this fool. He is after the temporary mundane beauties of this world. You please reveal. And because of the request of a pure devotee, Ranganath Swami reveals his very beautiful beauty to this Dhanurdas, and he's captivated. And he says, now I will never leave this Lord, I'll only serve. But Ramanujacharya instructs that you marry that girl and you serve in the Grihasthashram. And both of you together serve the Supreme Lord. Like this, every limb of Krishna is very beautiful. Yes? Adharam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, everything connected to Krishna is Madhuram Madhuram, because he's Madhuradipate Akhilam Madhuram. So everything connected to Krishna is very sweet. Correct? His smile is sweet, his glance is sweet, his everything is sweet. Especially his face. Sri Mukha. And that's why if you see the 10 cantos of Bhagavatam are compared to the different angas of Krishna. The first 2 cantos are his lotus feet. The 3rd and 4th canto are his 2 thighs. The 5th canto is his navel. 6th canto is his uru, the chest. 7th and 8th canto are the skanda. The 9th canto is the sugriva. Yes, his nice throat. The 11th canto is his sukapola, forehead. 12th canto is his head, and the 10th canto is Sri Mukha, the most beautiful part of Krishna's body. His lotus face. Panapatram Mukham Drisha. And Panapatram, our eyes are compared to cups. Yeah? Eyes are compared to cup, and inside cup, what you pour? You pour drink. So the drink to be poured into this cup of eyes is Krishna's beauty. Krishna's beauty one should drink. Niriksha. Okay. The third one, the third point is about Bahavo Lokapalana. So all the administrative demigods, they are all situated at Krishna's hands. Especially Indra is compared to the hands of the Virat Purusha. Legs is Upendra. So like they're all different parts, but Lokapalas are Krishna's hand, because the moment we want to defend or we want to attack, we use the hand, right? Hand is used for defense or attack, for protection and for even attacking. We use the hands. So whatever power the demigods get, the entire power, everything comes from Krishna. So demigods are also fearful. They run to Krishna's protection. That is mentioned. Then finally, Saranganam Padambujam. Saranga. So actually the Sar is Krishna. The word Saranga is very beautiful. Sar means Krishna. Krishna is the essence of everything. And that he has proved in what? He has proved in 7th chapter Bhagavad Gita. Correct? He is the essence of everything. So Krishna, Raso Hamapsu Kaunteya Prabhasmi Sasi Suryayo Pranavas Sarva Vedeshu Shabdakke Paurusham Nushu Punyo Ganda Prativyam Cha Vedaschasmi Vibhavaso Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu. Like that, he keeps singing and he keeps telling that I am the essence of everything. Balam Balavatam Chaham Kamarang Vivarjitam Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bharatarshava. So like that, one by one in 7.8, 9, 10, 11. He tells us that he is the essence in everything. Essence of water is taste. That taste is Krishna. Prabhupada went on to say that even the drunkards, they are drinking liquor. The taste of liquor is also Krishna. He is the essence of everything. Right? So that is why Krishna is called Saram. That is the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He says the essence of everything. And then those who keep singing about this Sara, they are called Saranga. So they keep talking and keep singing about such a Sara. Is called Saranga. So these are the pure devotees who always hanker after the honey of Krishna. So Prabhupada in the purport writes about Rupa Goswami's favorite bhajan, amazing, famous bhajan. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande मनमानसमधुकरम् अर्पय निजपद पङ्कजामकरन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे. So that the devotees is telling mana manasa, let the honeybee of my mind, honeybee keeps moves from here and there, har jagah jata rehta hai, lekin I just want to be fixed at the honey which is available at your lotus feet. That's all. Let my mind like honeybee always be fixed at your lotus feet. So beautiful song that he sings. One of the acharyas mentioned, what is the safest position to be? सबसे बढ़िया जगह जहां पे बिल्कुल लेश मात्र भी खतरा नहीं होता, there is not a single tinge of danger. Which is that place? So you have taken darshan of Krishna's lotus feet? Yes. So there's a spot between both the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes, the left feet, the right feet, there's a spot. And exactly in between the two lotus feet is the place where a devotee wants to be. That is the safest place in the whole creation. All right. Let us see the last shloka for today's discussion. 87. This is a very, very beautiful analogy. This is a pictorial representation of Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. Sita tapatra vyajanai rupaskrita prasuna varshair abhivarshita pati pishangavasa vanamalaya bhavau gano yatarko dupachapa vidyutaihi.
Hare Krishna. As the Lord passed along the public road of Dwaraka, his head was protected from the sunshine by a white umbrella. White feathered fan moved in semicircles, and showers of flowers fell upon the road. His yellow garments and garlands of flowers made it appear as if a dark cloud were surrounded simultaneously by sun, moon, lightning, and rainbows.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So these are four contradictory elements present in the same picture. There's a statement that goes that all contradictions are resolved in the absolute. When we connect anything to Krishna, all the controversies, all the contradictions can be easily resolved. That is the power of Krishna consciousness. Krishna, we can resolve everything. So there are four contradictory factors like sun, moon. If they come together, there will be eclipse. I'll just tell you one past time that Duryodhan, he hated Pandavas, but he loved one Pandava. You know who? Sahadev. Sahadev से बहुत प्यार करता था. Sahadev अच्छा है, कुछ बोलता नहीं है, background में रहता है. So he went to Sahadev and asked Sahadev, you are a very great astrologer. Please tell me what day the fight should begin, the war. The war तो होना ही है. What day the war should begin in such a way that we Kauravas will win the war. So Sahadev saw the astrological chart and said, brother, you start your fight on this day, and definitely on this Ekadashi you start the war, and you will definitely be victorious. And Duryodhan declares the one of the Ekadashi day. अभी तो हमें कोई नहीं रोक सकता. So then Krishna gets to know this news, and Krishna is worried. What to do? So Krishna, what he does is he calls for the sun, he calls for the moon, he calls for Rahu, he calls for Ketu. चारों को बुला देते हैं. Come. And they all come. Lord, you called us. आपको आपने हमें बुलाया चारों को. Said yes. What is our instruction? Thank you for coming. Now you can go back. And they're bewildered. अरे भगवान क्या कर रहे हैं? हमको बुलाया और अभी वापस भेज रहे. Then Krishna explains that actually I was worried for Pandavas. Duryodhan now cunningly started the war on this day, and I wanted the Pandavas to win. So what I did was I brought sun, moon, Rahu, Ketu together, which is eclipse. So एक और दिन हो गया. अभी आप लोग चले जाओ. Finished. Of course. So that's like this under very exceptional situation like eclipse. These elements come together, but normally we don't find these elements together. They are contradictory elements. So how was this? The Lord's bodily luster, the Lord's body was like monsoon cloud, number one. The white umbrella over Lord's head, which was held by Satyaki, that is compared to sun. There were chamaras. Uddhava was doing chamar. That is compared to the moon, Udupati. Udupa is moon. And because of Udupa only, there's Udupi. There's another place. That's another pastime we'll discuss. That is moon. And the people were showering flowers from the buildings, all the ladies, etc. They were compared to stars. And Krishna has Pita Vastra. The Pita Vastra of Krishna is compared to lightning. And flower garlands of Krishna's chest is compared to rainbow. Different flowers, where they're color flowers. They were like the rainbow. All these elements came together. So when Krishna is in the center, everything controversial is possible. Everything contradictory also principles can come together. So we can see many examples. Like you see, because of Lord's desire, the Asuras and Devatas together did the Samudra Manthan Leela. It was Lord's desire to have the Samudra Manthan Leela. So although of two opposite natures, they came together. Second, look at Shiva's family. Shiva's family is what family? Vaishnava family. But look at their Vahanas. Yes, Shiva has Bail and he has snake, he has scorpions, but they stay together happily. Parvati, she has lion as Vahana. Ganesh has mouse as Vahana. Kartikeya has peacock as Vahana. So Kartikeya's peacock is not going and eating the snakes on Shiva. He is not going and doing that. Or Parvati's tiger is not going and eating the rat of Ganesh. No, they are existing in cooperation. All these contradictory elements also can come together when Krishna is in the center. Another pastime, I'll just end with this. I had gone to a very beautiful place in South India. It's called Tiruvallarai. Tiru means any auspicious place, Shri Tiru. Vellarai, Vella means white and Arai means white stones. So there's a temple which is made completely with white stones. It's not marble, white stones. So that's why this place is called as Tiruvallarai. And the deity who is there is a Devasthanam. This is one of the 108 Divya Deshams mentioned by Sri Vaishnava Alvars. And the deity is Pundarikaksha Perumal. So whenever there's this pujaris in Tamil, I know Tamil very well. So they explain Tamil and Telugu, these Sri Vaishnava Acharyas who are there inside, they explain very nicely when you go for the Aarti. So he was telling me that Pundarikaksha Perumal is a very unique place. Because normally Garuda and Anantashesha are enemies. That's why Garud bahar rukta hai. Garud मंदिर के अंदर नहीं आता, गरुड़ बाहर रहता है. भगवान आपको जब भी कहीं जाना है तो गाड़ी बाहर खड़ी है, आप आ जाओ, बाहर आओ. And Anant Shesh is over there. But Pundarikaksha Perumal is one place where Anantashesh and Garuda are friends. They're together. So there you will find Anantashesh and Garuda standing next to each other. Of course, this is a transcendental Leela. But when Lord is in the center, Pundarikaksha is in center, he was telling that all contradictions can be resolved. All right. So today we saw about 12 shlokas, but we had a good discussion, especially about the prostitute question. Prabhu did not come. I wanted to discuss that in detail. So we saw that how wonderfully Krishna was reciprocating with all his devotees, and how it was a grand festival for Dwarkavasis when Krishna was walking through the streets, and none of them took him very cheaply. It was a daily affair, but still nobody took them. Nobody took him cheaply. Everybody revered and respected. All right, thank you very much. We'll pause here. Anybody has any questions, queries, comments? Yes. Anybody?
Prabhuji, like the same thing happens in Golok also. Like Lord every day goes out and every day comes, and every day it's a festival whenever Lord comes.
Yes. The evening festival, morning festival. Morning also everybody is looking at Krishna. And Krishna is going for Gocharan. And the gopis, what they do is they send their minds behind Krishna. हमारे मन को पीछे रख दो. इसलिए उनका मन जो है किसी भी एक्टिविटी में लगता नहीं है. घर के एक्टिविटीज, घरेलू एक्टिविटीज में उनका कुछ नहीं लगता. And they get lot of chastisement from the सासू माँ. अरे ठीक से काम नहीं करती. अरे मन किधर है तुम्हारा? मन तो कृष्ण के पीछे चला गया. Daily they used to send. And even when Krishna is coming back from Gocharan, that was a grand festival. Thank you. Thank you for a beautiful point. Anybody else? Yes, Yashika Mati.
The question थोड़ा अजीब सा है. What is the difference between a normal, when a normal person, I mean normal materialistic person, bully a devotee, and a devotee is bullying a devotee?
Normal materialistic person bullying a devotee is karma. When a devotee bullying another devotee is purification of false ego. This is my understanding. अहंकार का चित्त का शुद्धिकरण होता है. Vaishnava Sangha. That's why Vaishnava Sangha is like what? Vaishnava Sangha is like a honeybee. It's like it's a honeycomb. We get honey. Yes, relish मिलता है, लेकिन थोड़ा sting भी मिलता है. Tang, tang, tang from chastisement and these things also we get. So because it's coming from a devotee, there is some purification associated with that. Our false ego is purified. We become humbled. Okay. In case of a materialistic person who is instrument of the karma, that is also there. Don't blame the instrument of the karma. Yeah, anyone else? Last.
Prabhuji, yesterday I asked a question about karma exchange, where we can find the reference of that.
Karma exchange reference mostly we find in, you can refer to Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatan Goswami's Hari Bhakti Vilas. So that are standard rules and regulations for all Vaishnavas, and in that it comes. Okay. If I find some other reference, I'll let you know. All right, we'll pause here. Thank you all very much. Sachishindari, say something.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Not exactly, but little related. That you said prostitutes were that was a different class and it was present. So in Parikshit's kingdom also prostitutes were there. So when Kali wanted to enter, why he couldn't enter through these things? I mean,
Okay, why did he enter through that? That's what I told. No,
he
prostitutes.
couldn't. Yeah, he said, "No,
he always working for." Yeah,
he basically surrendered.
No, that's what prostitutes need not mean that they are always working for sex. They are doing sex for money. No, prostitutes are singers. They sing about the Lord. Yes, they are serving. They're serving in hotels. They are serving prasad only. Lakshahira, when she serves that leper, so she serves prasadam of the Lord. So they say those who do that service, they are also called as prostitutes. Got it?
Okay. But all these things, I mean, the four don'ts which we say, all these things are they were present, but still Kali could not enter. Right?
Kali could not enter. Absolutely could not enter because people were very Krishna conscious.
Means
People were very Krishna conscious. They kept Kali at bay. These things were there, but what we need to understand is that they were all Krishna conscious. Now, a person may go to prostitute. He may want to hear some nice music, and Krishna's musical entertainment. For that purpose, he is visiting there. He wants some Krishna conscious musical entertainment, so he's going. Women have sweet voice, so he's going to listen to them. Where will Kali enter now here? Got it? No?
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes. Bhaja Haripu, you want to say something?
No, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavatam ki jai. Samasta Gaur Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Dandavad.
Thank you, Dandavad Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Raj Kishore. See you.
Thank you.
You may end.
Yes, I'll end the call.